Today we're going to look at some art by M.C. Escher and create a drawing of an impossible cube. And M.C. Escher grew up in Holland in the early years of the 20th century. He studied art and traveled through Europe as a young man. During his travels, he discovered that he especially liked the geometric designs made by Moorish artists in Spain and northern Africa. And that really shows up in a lot of his artwork. He uses different kinds of shapes and forms, and he puts them together kind of like puzzles to create things. So this is an example of a piece of art by M.C. Escher, and you'll notice that there's something kind of funny about this art. Look at the direction that the people are going in here. If I look at this picture, it looks like some of the people are standing straight up, and some of the people look like they would fall down. But if I turn the picture, suddenly this person looks like he's standing up, and this person looks like he would fall down. Okay, I'm going to turn this picture one more time so you can see it from a whole different angle. Okay, look here. If you look outside, you can see people walking outside, walking down the stairs, walking up the stairs sneakily. But this person now looks like they would fall down, and this person looks like they would fall down, and this person looks like he would fall down right on top of his head. Okay, and today we're drawing an impossible cube. The final product looks kind of like this, and you'll be able to add your own little people going around inside. If you look at this cube here, it looks like if I just look at this corner, it looks correct. Or if I just look at this corner here, it looks correct. But if I look at the whole thing together, it kind of looks a little funny, like, hey, wait a minute, this is inside, but suddenly this part is outside. What's going on, and how do I make it? Okay, here is a small example of what we are going to be doing. So you can see on this one also, this looks like, hey, it's inside. Here's a person climbing a staircase. But then, all of a sudden, this part here that was inside, now it's on the outside. Okay, so let's get started on drawing our impossible cube. For this drawing, you are going to be needing to know a couple of very simple things on your ruler. You need to know what an inch is, and you need to know what a half of an inch is. And these are very easy to find, right? So if I want to find an inch, I know all these number ones here, those are the inches. And half an inch is the line that's the longest, that's in between each of the numbers. So here I have half an inch, 1 inch, another half, 2 inches, another half, 3 inches. And we'll just be using either the whole inches or the half inches for our drawing. If you follow along with me, it will be pretty easy to do. But if you just kind of randomly draw a whole bunch of lines on there, then it will not work out. Okay, so now get your pencils ready. And first you're going to be writing your name. I already drew mine on this side, so I'm going to imagine this is the back of my paper and write my name. Okay, then I am going to flip it over to the other side and get my ruler ready. Okay, now on a ruler I have a 0. And oftentimes on a ruler you might not see the 0. If you see the 0, that's the 0 of your ruler. But if you don't see a 0 on your ruler, that means the very end of your ruler before the 1 is the 0. And I'm going to start by putting my ruler vertical on my paper, meaning it's going straight up and down. And I want the 0 of my ruler to touch the bottom of the paper. Okay, now I'm going to go up to the number up to 1/2 and make a little dot. Okay, this dot's going to be important for later to complete our drawing. So I go from 0 to 1/2, I make a dot, and that's in between the 0 and the 1. Then I go from the 1, and I'm going to draw 4 inches. And if I am starting from the 1, that means I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 inches all the way to the number 5. So here I am, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if I check my line, I know it's going to be 4 inches and it's vertical. And here's a little dot that is 1/2 inch away. Okay, the next part that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a horizontal line. So I'm going to put my ruler horizontal this time. But I want it to start from the end of my vertical line. So I'm going to put the 0 of my ruler on the very top of my vertical line. And I want this line to also be 4 inches. So this was 4 inches. This will also be 4 inches. So this time, since I'm starting from the 0, I go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it only goes to 4. 1, oop, it's a little wiggly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, even though my line is a little bit wiggly, it's still going to work out. Okay. Now, I also need another dot, just like I had with this one. And I want that dot to be 1/2 inch away. So I have a line that stops at the number 4. I want a little dot that's 1/2 inch away. That means it's in between the 4 and the 5. Okay, so I've got 4 inches, dot and dot. The next part is I'm going to make another horizontal line, and this time I'm going to match up my ruler with my dot here on the bottom. And I want to start the line 1/2 inch away from my dot. So here's my 0. 1/2 inch away is 1/2. And if I want it to be a 4-inch line, then I need to count by the halves. So see, here's 1/2, and if I count 1, that's here in between the 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I'm drawing over to 4.5. So I start here at my half. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and I end at 4.5. Aha. Okay, and then I want one more line here to make the rest of my square that's got some holes in it. I'm going to draw up vertical 4 inches. So I line up the end of my line here and my dot. And since my 0 of my ruler is on the end, this will be easy to measure. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now those dots kind of helped us to space it out a little bit so that we don't have a regular cube. We're going to have our impossible cube. The next step is to connect these parts together with a diagonal line. So if I line up my ruler with those 2 marks there, the end of the lines, and draw, I've got my diagonal line. And then I'll do that on the other side as well. Match it up, draw my diagonal line.